All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Super here, and welcome to another video. This is going to be another little update, I guess, if you want to call it an update on the next Netherrealm Studios game. There's a couple of interesting questions, or I should say answers, that Ed Boon gave over the last couple of days answering fan questions. So, this is pretty much crunch time. If there's actually something coming next year, I'm not saying there is, I'm not saying there isn't, but this is probably like the most stressful time for Netherrealm employees when the game is like potentially getting ready to be shown off. So shout out to you, Lord Boon, if you watch this. I hope you have more good days than you have bad days, because he actually said he didn't have a good day when he wanted people to ask him questions because he had to catch up on some stuff. So I hope you have better days than bad days going forward, Lord Boon. But over the last 2 weeks, he has been asking fans for questions, and I do feel bad for Ed, because 90% of them are like, when's MK12? Is your next game going to be MK12? Is it going to be Injustice? Are you going to announce something at the Game Awards? Like, he legally cannot answer those questions, and I do feel like Ed genuinely wants to answer fan questions. So I don't know. I think those are silly. But anyway, there are some good answers here that he gave that are potential hints for, future stuff. So I want to read them to you guys, because I said if there was any updates or like anything at all, I would update you guys. So, all right. So right off the bat, I want to start with the most significant answer to a tweet Ed Boon gave. All right. So somebody asks, how's the new game coming along? Can't wait to see what you guys have in store for us this time. And Ed Boon replied, good, but we've got more than one pot on the stove. Boom, baby. So that is definitely the most significant clue as to what Netherrealm is working on next. It's not only one project, it's multiple projects. Now, I might be blowing things out of proportion. Ed, if you're watching this, I apologize. I'm an instigator. Not really. I'm just excited about the future of Mortal Kombat. So if I get people's hopes up, I apologize to everyone too, okay? But I'll give you guys like the options and what this potentially could mean. This is definitely a special year for Mortal Kombat. So Ed Boon's statement as to saying, we have multiple pots on the stove, it could mean that 2 Mortal Kombat related projects are currently being worked on that will be released for the 30th anniversary of Mortal Kombat. I'm not saying like something's going to get released in the next 2 weeks. I'm just saying during the course of the 30th anniversary, which means from the release day of Mortal Kombat 1, October 14, 13, 15, whatever, all the way till next year. All right? That's more what I'm referring to. More like next year. It could mean that they have 2 things in store for us. One potentially being a new Mortal Kombat game, a big title. I'm talking about like Mortal Kombat 12, right? The next one could potentially be something like a Mortal Kombat 30th anniversary, where you have Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, I don't know, Mortal Kombat 4, some of the 3D era games, pretty much like all the classic Mortal Kombat games before Mortal Kombat versus DC. And probably like not Armageddon. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they will put Armageddon there, but something similar to like the Street Fighter 35 year anniversary, where they had all the classic games. I think they had rollback for all those games, and they had like online features. That's option number 1. That's something that could potentially happen, and those 2 could be released like in the same year. Who knows? That could be the multiple projects. He could also be referring to the fact that even before a new game is released, Ed Boon has confirmed this via, I think, Mortal Kombat 11 interview. Someone asked him like how the process works and when does the planning stages begin, and he pretty much said that before Injustice 2 even came out, that the team was already brainstorming ideas for Mortal Kombat 11. So that could be potentially what he means. If there's something that's going to be released next year, April, March, around there, maybe May, they could already be brainstorming for the next project that's going to be coming down in, I don't know, 6 years from now, somewhere around there, or 5 years from now. That's potentially what he could mean as well. Or he could mean something else, like, maybe they took the extra year to create these, maybe create something like a Shaolin Monks remaster, a Shaolin Monks 2. That would probably be like a dream scenario, to be honest, because a lot of people have been wanting them to make a new Shaolin Monks game or just remaster the old Shaolin Monks. And he actually answered something about that in another tweet that I'm going to talk about right now. But the fact that he did say that multiple projects are being worked on currently is very exciting. So I can't wait. That to me also gives me even more hope that something is coming next year. I do honestly believe that. And the fact that, you know, if 2 projects are being worked on at once, that means that one is almost ready to go. That's what that tells me. And like I said, Ed, I'm sorry if I'm blowing things out of proportion, if I'm getting way over ahead of myself, which I tend to do sometimes before we even know any information. I do believe that if there's multiple projects being worked on, that one is almost finished. And I think that is like the big one, because obviously a AAA title like a Mortal Kombat game, like an Injustice game, whatever they have planned, like their big fighting game, it's always a AAA title game. Every single Mortal Kombat game that has come out since MK9 has been the best selling that they've had, topping the previous one, which is really hard to do. Mortal Kombat 9, best-selling Mortal Kombat game of all time. Mortal Kombat X blew it out the water. Like, Mortal Kombat X was not only, like, the best-selling Mortal Kombat game of all time, it was the best-selling fighting game of all time before Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm pretty sure that is something that Mortal Kombat X had before Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure something like that, because Mortal Kombat X, you guys have no idea. That game sold like a motherfucker. And then recently, maybe in the last 6 months, maybe in the last year, Mortal Kombat 11 actually surpassed Mortal Kombat X by a little bit, sales-wise. So every AAA Mortal Kombat game, and even Injustice sells like really well. Those games are going to take priority. So if there was a game out of the 2 that would be close to being finished, it would definitely be like the AAA title fighting game. So that is the big one. That is the big answer. And yeah, exciting time, to be honest, because we're making videos on Ed Boon's tweets. And that only happens when there's potential clues being tweeted out by Ed Boon. And it was silent for a long time, but I'm happy that he's answering some of these questions. And, you know, giving like what he can actually give to the fans regarding what the next project, because he can't come out and say anything pretty much. All right, so this is another question following up my statement that I made about, you know, each Mortal Kombat game pretty much outdoes the other one sales-wise. Somebody asked Ed Boon, when are we getting MK12? And I think Ed got so tired of answering with the same answer, which is pretty much like, guys, I can't say anything. Like, I probably legally can't say anything. So he switched it up here and said, MK11 was our biggest MK ever. I'd be surprised if we never did another one. So, you know, a pretty obvious statement, but I think this was just Ed trying to, like, answer the same question that he got. Probably, like, 90% of those questions where's MK12? When's the next MK game? Blah, blah, blah. So, obviously, we're going to get another Mortal Kombat at some point. Will it be next year for the 30th anniversary? I have no idea. I'm still thinking that it's going to be a yes because of, you know, multiple factors that I mentioned in this video and before. I think the closest date that we have to an actual announcement of a big Mortal Kombat game, like fighting game, Mortal Kombat 12 potentially, is going to be the Game Awards, December 8th. So keep you guys updated on that. But the final question that I thought was interesting that he answered was Shaolin Monks Remaster, question mark. Somebody asking about that, or somebody asking about Mortal Kombat 4 emulated. And then Ed Boon's reply was, you know, we've talked about this, but it's hard to fit in a big project like that and continuing to make our MK and Injustice games someday. So I found this interesting because ideas were probably brought up about a remaster of Shaolin Monks, maybe a Shaolin Monks 2, but doing things like that are big projects. They're not like going to be the AAA games that are going to be released like an Injustice, like a Mortal Kombat. But I found it interesting that those conversations actually took place of potentially remastering other Mortal Kombat games, like Shaolin Monks, maybe like the Mortal Kombat like collectors thing where it was like Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. But with the schedule that Netherrealm had before, which was really tight, it was a new game every 2 years. And potentially going back to Ed Boon's statement on working on multiple things, you know, that might be the reason why they took the extra year or 2 years, whatever it's been, off, and why they broke the cycle to actually create something that would be impossible with their normal schedule, which is a brand new game every 2 years. So it's going to be interesting to see what that other project is, if it's actually something that is a, you know, it's still a big project, but it's a smaller thing, like a Shaolin Monks remaster, Mortal Kombat Collectors, like 30th Anniversary Collectors Edition remaster, I don't know. But I found that answer very, very telling because, yeah, I mean, when your schedule is as tight as a new game every 2 years, you pretty much, it's impossible to work on other things. And the extra time that has been taken might be to create not only a new fighting game, which could be Injustice, it could be in Mortal Kombat, could be in Marvel vs. DC, whatever they do, but to supplement that with still a big project, but a smaller one that would be impossible with the 2 year cycle that they had before, like the Shaolin Monks remaster, etc. So those are like the three answers that I found really interesting for Ed Boon to answer. It's cool seeing him be a little bit more active, trying to answer fan questions. Obviously, you know, he literally cannot answer a lot of the questions that people ask, but seeing him be more active about, you know, what potentially could be the next project or projects is really exciting, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of months, man. I really am. I think it's going to be some good news coming up here. Maybe not soon, but soonish. I'll keep you guys updated on any information that we get. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. What's going on? It's Super here, and thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and you aren't subscribed already, make sure you guys do so. And if you want to see some more, there's videos popping up on the screen right now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.